Greetings, everyone. Kevin O'Malley, your Wilsonville Chamber of Commerce CEO. It's Wednesday. It's noon. This must be live at noon in Wilsonville. Thanks so much for joining us. Today, we have a very special guest, none other than Tyler Carmel. New name. Appreciate that a guy is taking the family name of a spouse. That's a separate conversation. We'll leave that out there. Yay. AIM IT Services PNW. So, we had a big ransomware that made a lot of news in July. Big attack, and it impacts not just large businesses, but small and medium size. So as an IT professional, what do you guys recommend is the first thing that a small business owner or manager should be doing when it comes to cybersecurity for their business?
Well, that would definitely be, I think, user education. Aside from having your basic security needs met by your IT team, like, your routers, your switches, firewalls, everything being up to date and having the baseline there, I think really it's user security. Okay. Because a lot of these attacks that we're seeing, people have everything in place IT-wise, but it's the users that maybe were social engineered or fell for a phishing attack or, somehow left their company exposed and let the hackers get in and then do, their bad stuff. So really the user education, I feel like is one of the biggest things.
Okay. Great advice. I saw recently in one of the business magazines that the latest survey of workers are showing that more than 80% of them want to stay working remotely. So the question would be, does remote work kind of present a unique opportunity? What should business owners and managers be thinking about with their workers? Because it sounds like it's going to be here. It's not going away. But is it more vulnerable, and what can they do?
So in some ways it is. Other than making sure that your employees are set up to be as productive as they can be, like having all the resources that they need, whether they be using a VPN, which you definitely should be using a VPN if they're going to be accessing, resources on your office's local network. If they're connecting from home, you definitely want to have a VPN set up. And then also a big thing is that, people, if you're giving somebody a company device that you are managing, it's a lot easier to make sure that that device has its, antivirus up to date, that it doesn't have some vulnerability, that basically you can make sure that's a secure device. And I see a lot of companies that are allowing their employees to work from home, but they're letting people do that on a home device that they don't have oversight over. They don't know if it's secure, if it has breaches. They don't know if their kid's going to go play a video game later in the day and then download a virus or something. And now that, the computer that, so basically it's, you want to make sure that you either have some sort of insight into that home device, but really it should be you're giving employees devices to use so that you can manage them with remote software and stuff like that. Also, that comes with an increased use, obviously, of email, because now when would have had conversations with people in the office, you're now emailing a lot instead. And with email, that's a big way that most of these attacks are, happening, is that people are getting emails they think are legitimate from an employee or from a customer, and they'll have an attached PDF or something. And you're in your workflow, you're kind of trying to get stuff done quickly, and you're busy. You might click on an email thinking it's legitimate, and you've just downloaded either a virus or you've. A lot of times what happens is you click on something, it'll come up with a sign in on a web page, and it'll say sign into your Microsoft account. And people will think, oh, I need to sign back into Microsoft, and they do it. What they don't know is that web page they just signed into is actually sending your information to a hacker. So, like I said, the user education is just paramount in being cautious, making sure you're looking at what it is. And if you just hover over the email address it's from, you can see the actual email address and make sure it's legitimate, so.
Good deal. Good tip. I also have heard, and we'll keep the guilty parties anonymous, from one of our area businesses where the owner was away, and the folks internally got an email like it was the owner talking to them about where they needed to send a check. What is that all about?
So yeah, a term for that is CEO fraud, but really it's fraud of a manager, anybody in a higher position, kind of send you an email impersonating that. And what'll happen a lot of times, they'll ask for a gift card. They'll say, "Hey, I need $800 of gift cards for these customers that we want to give. Just run a Safeway and grab those." And we have seen people do that. I mean, they have done it. And to be fair, they're just trying to be a good employee, be quick. But and it's not hard for hackers to figure out information about your company, right? I mean, people put stuff on the internet. They put your emails. They say who the CEO is on the internet. So it's not hard for somebody to impersonate that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's really about looking at that email address you're getting it from, making sure it's from your domain. And there's a lot of security too that you need to set up, making sure that email can't come in externally that's spoofing or pretending to be from your domain. And those are all security things that an IT company like ours can make sure that you guys have in place.
Good deal. So, well, it's been fun to get together today. If folks want to reach out, there's some information on the bottom, both the phone number and the website. If somebody said, "Hey, what does this look like? What are next steps? What options would be available through AIM IT Pacific?
Yeah, so what we would do is just a quick, we do a free assessment. We look through everything on your network and what your company is using in the IT realm. We would just, see where possible points would be that you need to have improvement and making sure everything's up to date. And then we also have user education programs that we can make sure those things I was talking about, that we can educate users and test them and see, who might have the most exposure to something like that. But yeah, all you have to do is just, give us a call or send us a quick email, info@aimpnw.com, and we can set up that free assessment with you and get you guys squared away.
Good deal. Well, it's never too late, because they don't say it's a matter of when, but only a matter of if. So you have to be vigilant. And thanks, AIM IT, for being a Wilsonville Chamber member. More importantly, thanks for being a business owner and taking care of our business needs, particularly when it comes to IT.
Absolutely.
Have a great rest of the week. Thanks for joining us. Everybody, tune in for the next Live at Noon in Wilsonville. Take care for now.